Hello everyone, it's me, Clayton. I just finished watching Spriggan, based off the classic manga from the late 80s, which went until the mid 90s, and it was based on a animated film from 1998. Now, the Spriggan series certainly was a big hit in Japan when it first came out in the golden age of ultra-violent OVAs, but when it comes to this new adaptation from 2022, it happens to feel like a throwback to those days of ultra-violence and hot-blooded shonen heroes, along with giving it some modern touches, such as the mix of hand-drawn animation and CGI to deliver a full experience throughout its 6-episode run. So does it work? For the most part, yeah. The plot centers around these ancient alien civilizations, or just ancient civilizations, that happen to house powerful relics that are seeked out by various countries in order to use their power for their own purposes. However, there's also this organization that has these agents called Spriggans that have the job of sealing away these relics or making sure their power doesn't fall into the wrong hands. And our main character, Ominae, ends up being our main character as we follow him going throughout the world trying to prevent these relics from falling into the hands of people who would use them for evil purposes, while he's also trying to attend high school like a normal teenage boy. So yeah, it definitely does feel like a classic shonen manga in that respect, when it comes to the character archetypes, the general setup, and the episodic structure of every 40-minute long episode. Every single episode seems to follow a similar bit of character beats. Yu Ominae meets a character or characters that have something related to an ancient artifact. That character is usually threatened by the main bad guys. There are some cool fight scenes thrown out. Yu Ominae finds the artifact and either seals it or finds a way to destroy it. And he goes back to his normal high school days, just long enough for him to, do something like go to the sports festival or meet a girl that he likes before he happens to end up in another mission. It's a basic setup that I could see easily working for manga chapters, but it also works well for these episodes, because despite the fact that there's only 6 total, every episode is double the length of a typical anime episode. So if you split the episodes apart, you could easily get a full 12-episode season out of it. On top of that, I was kind of dreading the CG animation when I first heard of it, but the animation here actually looks fairly good, especially considering that the CGI is mainly used for when the action scenes have to use a lot of mobility with a lot of characters, and it happens to blend in pretty well with the 2D animation throughout. On top of Yu Ominae, we also meet a couple of other Spriggan agents who have a bit of flair to them. There's this French rival of his named Jean, who has some cool moments, especially since he's a lycanthrope. There's Yoshino, who's this Tomb Raider type, who happens to have a good rapport with Yu Ominae, while also being cute, but also a bit crafty. There's this Qigong master, who happens to be Yu Ominae's combat instructor. And there's a bunch of colorful bad guys, one of whom can literally communicate with dead Nazis. It's completely ridiculous on the onset, but that's exactly what makes the series fun. It manages to just take its concept and go to its logical extremes with it, even when our main characters are fighting Metal Gear Solid rejects, even though this was made before Metal Gear Solid was a thing. So, yeah, Spriggan definitely isn't for everyone, but for those who crave a return to the classic old-school shonens and don't mind a little bit of CGI with it, you're probably going to love this one. That's why I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. See you next time.